I have a question for you. What do you think is the number one reason why relationships fail? I'll give you a second to think about that. Hi, and welcome back. I am Kanisha, and today we're going to talk about why the relationship that you may be exploring feels like it's failing, or why relationships have failed for you in the past, and ultimately the major reasoning, including the number one reason on why this happens. We're going to go into depth on why relationships may not grow and continue moving forward with you, and how to really heal that at the core to create a relationship that feels super just juicy and loving to you without having to try to do things on the outside to maintain it. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to give you a few reasons, including the number one reason, and starting with number 3, it is disrespect. Now, you may ask, well, how can I disrespect my partner? Well, it could be not respecting the experiences that they're having or that they're moving through, not allowing them to move through their own spiritual process by trying to force them into healing or trying to control them in any way, shape, or form, trying to convince them and make them see your side or your reasoning. And ultimately, it could be that you are blaming them or pointing fingers at them for why your relationship isn't working, instead of respecting that that's the experience that you're moving through, and really looking at yourself and getting clear on where are you playing a role. What is your belief that you're holding on here? What is it that you're looking for from them in order to feel better in this space? And also, it might be pointing to you where you might be feeling a little disrespected within yourself, towards yourself. And so ultimately, when you are taking your frustrations out on your partner and you're blaming them and you're not allowing yourself to move through your feelings, you disrespect them in many ways by not seeing them as love, not seeing them as divine, not seeing them as someone who is here to help you become the best version of you, and you helping them become the best version of them. And so I give you an example. If you're moving through something and you feel one way about it, but they may not agree, and then they make you maybe feel bad, or they're trying to convince you or trying to make you see something that you just maybe not believe in your heart, you would feel like they're not respecting that this is your experience. You may feel like they're not respecting your thought process or the way that you are processing something or the way that you're viewing something. Even if it may not align with them, you would hope that they would hold space for you and love you where you are until you can move through that yourself. So learning to respect your partner as they move through their own upsets, as they move through navigating how they need to be loved or how they want to be loved, and learning ultimately how to love each other in this space is going to require you respecting one another, you respecting each other's process of moving through things. Number 2 would be neglect. Now, it tends to happen when you feel neglected by your person, you will tend to neglect them. And this might work in a soulmate relationship, but it will not work in a twin flame relationship because they are you. So if you are neglecting them, you're going to have it mirrored back to you being neglected because they are you, you're one. And this means that you could be taking things for granted, avoiding conversations. I've learned that sometimes I've seen friends where they're neglecting their partner and then they will leak their sexual energy and try to get attention or validation from another person. And ultimately, because they feel neglected by their partner, they're going to neglect the needs of their partner in order to starve them from love and hopefully shock them back into loving them again. And that does not work for a divine counterpart, your twin flame, because they are you. They can only give to you what you are giving yourself. So when you choose to continue neglecting your union, your relationship, your partner, ultimately you're neglecting yourself. You're neglecting giving yourself love there and loving your union. And when you do that, you actually create even more distance. like I said, with a soulmate, it may shock them back into reality and be like, oh, I don't want to lose this person, so I'm going to fix myself right now and make things better for this period of time. But with your twin flame can only mirror to you what you are currently doing. So if you're neglecting, you will receive even more neglect. Trying to ignore it or move away from it until they change or shift is not going to work, because ultimately your source of love and attention and your needs being met doesn't come from them. It comes from source. It comes from your creator. It comes from God. And so when you can seek that from within, going within or going to God for that, instead of trying to get it from them, you will see that you never really actually had to seek anything from them. And when you are able to give it to yourself, they will freely give it to you because you are attracting what you are. And so when you have an unwillingness to commit and persist through any upset that comes into your union, you're ultimately giving up on yourself. You're betraying yourself by not going all the way to the core of the upset and bringing love into that space and letting go of that pain and letting go of that hurt and ultimately letting go of that need for someone else to shift or change or to love you for you to feel loved. You're already loved and whole and complete as you are. So you don't have to ever look or seek for anything outside of you. Imagine if people approach relationships that way, where they weren't trying to partner up with someone just to get love from them, just to get something from them, that they were actually partnering with them because they really thoroughly enjoyed being in their space. They felt deep peace and safety being in your space, and they just want to enjoy you and be around you and really get to equally exchange love with you. But when you're looking to someone to always provide your safety, your comfort, your security, your love, your attention, that can feel really heavy on someone. And when you can give it to yourself and then they give to you that back to you because it's what you are, it's what you're attracting, then it's very balanced and it feels good for both of you, because there's no like neediness there and you're not neglecting your needs. You're giving to yourself, which then is reflected back to you by your twin flame. That allows you to have an interdependent relationship and not a codependent relationship on each other. You're both responsible for the love and the attention that you give yourselves, and naturally that will be mirrored back to each other. And then the number one reason why relationships tend to not work is indifferences. And these indifferences, when you have indifferences within your union, I have recognized that when someone is not caring anymore in this relationship and they've given up on the relationship, this can be very difficult. And I tend to experience this with soulmates. When I've experienced many soulmates, and when I would even choose to continue moving through with the relationship and wanting to work through this indifference because I could see or feel like maybe it's just a miscommunication or it's an upset, but they were really already checked out of the relationship, then I had to make the choice to let it go. But with your twin flame, when you choose to move through the upset, you choose to move through all of it, they choose that too with you at the core because they're one with you. They can't choose differently from you because you're one divine being, you're one consciousness, one soul blueprint. And so when you choose to move through this all together, the right person will want to move through it with you. And so for me, this is one of the ways that I have been able to get clear on a false or true twin flame. A false twin flame was not open to working through core upsets and blocks when I was already choosing to work through it. I was already in the process of working through it, but they did not want to. My true twin flame, oh my gosh, I love this man. Anytime I have a core upset or an indifference with him, and it almost looks like, oh my gosh, we're not going to work through this, or this is the one circumstance that's going to break us and we're going to fall apart. When I choose to work through it, he chooses to work through it. He moves through it with me. and he doesn't leave me hanging, nor do I leave him hanging either. And we actually create a lot of safety and vulnerability, or a lot of safety in a space of vulnerability, to be able to work through those hard conversations, those deep feelings. And so when you truly choose at your core to work through it, the right person, the person created for you, your ultimate lover, is going to move through it with you as well. You just have to make the choice to move all the way through it and commit to your spiritual process. Commit through working through the blocks, working through the upsets. There is no upset too big for you to work through that you can't work through with your twin flame. You're meant to be in harmony and peace with your divine lover. This information is really meant to help you focus on creating the romance that you desire. You desire a partner who is going to respect you. You desire a partner who is going to be there for you and move through things with you instead of neglecting your needs. You're going to really call in a partner who is willing to look at all of these indifferences and really look through every crevice and under every rock and stone and make sure that they can move through this with you because they have no desire to be apart from you. At their soul level, they know you are the one and that they're willing to work through all of this with you. That's the kind of love and romance and commitment that you want to really embrace and call in, because that is for you. As a partner who's going to grow with you and continuously grow with you and expand with you and has the same vision as you and the same desires for your life as you. And so if you really desire more support in calling this in and grounding in this kind of love and really calling in your ultimate love, definitely check out twinflamesuniverse.com. You will find the free intro session there, or the free introductory session there. And then also check out the Twin Flame Ascension coaches. They have all been through this process and they can tell you that it's so worth it to work through the blocks and the reasons that I brought up for you, because you will cultivate and relax into such an amazing love life with your divine counterpart. You're meant to have a healthy, loving, beautiful, blossoming, romantic relationship with your divine counterpart. But sometimes we need a little bit of support because society can teach us some things that aren't in alignment with true divine love. When you watch things on TikTok or YouTube or whatever it is that may feel like it doesn't align with you on your soul level, it's because a lot of the times it isn't aligned with actual divine love. So you want to get clear on what that means and what that looks like. And the coaches here are here to help you do that. They're very in alignment with what divine true love feels and looks like in a divine union, and you deserve that. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you received so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.